I mean, I don't know what else these contractors can do. I mean, if FEMA comes into a town and says there's 290 trees, you base their bids off the 290 trees.
Then maybe they should look a little closer and say, hey, like the rest of some of these guys.
Not every contractor came into town to bid.
But here's another thing, and I want to go on your point that you made, Jim. Here's the other point. In order for us to go and look at every tree and say, okay, it needs this one, what you actually need to do to make it fair is you need a representative from FEMA, you need a representative from the city to go through and literally list the trees like FEMA did the first time around with the 292. They all need to be listed because what FEMA says we can cut and what the city wants us to cut are a lot of times two different things. And I think any of you that, well, I know Gary's worked with the FEMA gal out there, and it's something you wanted to cut. What was different with you, you had us just go to the GPSs, and that's what we were going to do, and that was been fine, great, and dandy, until she changed the rules on us the next day or the day after, and now we're cutting everything that within the right-of-way.
How about if FEMA would have underestimated it?
Well, that's why FEMA is struck.
If they would have overestimated it and you have 200 trees less, would you come back here and give us money back?
We're only cutting what they say is there. FEMA's not going to overestimate. They're the federal government. They're not going to overestimate. The only time that would happen, and here's what I honestly think happened, being where we live, okay, and as cold as it is, and when this guy or girl or whoever it was from FEMA's representative that went out and actually looked at these trees and documented how many there was, at that time I heard about the snow. There was snow where they couldn't get. These are all, I believe, came from a nice warm vehicle and they never got out and beat the bush. Okay? That's where I think this all happened. He wasn't doing his job, and I would like to see FEMA now look at the new numbers that you all got and the extras and look at his original one, and when they get back to the office and say, hey, man, you know, this is, you got to have better numbers than this. It's not even close. And talking to the FEMA, this town is in this past ice storm, was the worst that the numbers ever been off. This town here in Sac was the worst of the numbers being off.
Are there any other questions or any other comments? Are you ready to move
I
forward
would,
with the motion?
I would like at the next meeting for them to come back with a firm figure on what they want.
We would like to be paid. We would like to be paid.
I want it in writing, the extra trees, the amount for extra trees, the whole works.
Okay, your extra trees, Adam, were 262, correct?
268.
Okay, and then what about the extra brush hauling?
I don't have a number for that yet.
Okay.
They haven't given me a number.
So I'm going to come back and have my numbers for the trees, and then by then, are you going to get with us?
I would like to see a total dollar amount.
Okay. And by then, Adam, you'll get with me on the tonnage over there at that thing?
Yeah, I can call you guys. I've got Mike's number.
FEMA's going to do their math on that, what conversion of the tonnage.
Yeah, they have to do. They do a cubic measurements, and then they give us an overall estimate. Much like what they did with the Apollo beyond the VFW.
Okay. That's taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to table it until we get a final dollar amount on everything.
Here's just some things I wrote down from last time I wanted to comment on from the last meeting. Thank you.
So this will be set, what, 2 weeks from now?
Actually,
3 weeks. Be the
Memorial Day Monday.
second Monday in June.
Okay.
I think Gary has a better understanding than anybody. He was out there. I mean,
But I understand where these guys are coming from, and I truly do. I can see your side. There is...
to me, FEMA admits they made a mistake, and the thing is that I think they compiled the information before all the damage was actually happened, and they think the windstorms and the snow afterward. I mean, how can you be off that far?
Can they donate the 15% back to the city? I mean, is that legal?
Could who?
These contractors, can they donate your exposure back to the city?
I would have to ask. I'd have to talk to the state and ask FEMA and see if that's legit or not.
Another thing, you commented that a lot of people had hauled the brush out. I hauled, like I say, 2,000 yards. The numbers are so far off. The number of hangers per tree were supposed to be less than 2 per tree. when Adam gets you the numbers, just look at the trees that weren't even marked and the number of hangers we took out. I mean, I don't know what happened, but it's...
But you also took a lot of stuff out there that was not taking out trees. They went out and did their own trimming. I saw rose bushes in there.
Yeah,
saw all kinds
and
of stuff.
every day I came up
You
here
were
was
out
like,
of here.
you know,
We'd have to be doing it.
I just wanted to do you guys a good job, and I just hope I don't have to lose money doing it. I mean, I bid it as cheap as I could possibly bid it to start with, off of those numbers. And I know some people don't think them numbers mean anything, but they meant everything to me. I don't know what else they'd be doing in there. I mean, them numbers have no other purpose than for me to bid. And like the other guy says, I don't know how he can do it for that. I can barely do it for that. My profit was going to be like that, but I got an ass-kicking crew, excuse my French, and I knew I could do it. But with things beyond my control, yeah, everything that I had control over, I think I did you guys a wonderful job. It was hard to get up in the morning knowing I might be losing money.
And part of the hardest part was after the last meeting, we were out there not even knowing if we were going to get paid. That's the hardest part. And how do you get motivated and still do your job?
It was hard to get out of bed. I couldn't sleep at night. I mean,
Yeah. But
I went off the numbers, and I think anytime somebody goes off the numbers off a bid sheet, I think there should be some legitimacy to them numbers. I don't see how anybody could say that they don't mean nothing. They mean everything.
Yeah,
Well,
just
and
like-
also, you keep forgetting that part of that contract that said this is an estimate only.
There's also a part in the contract that says if there's more than what it says in the contract, that I have to contact you people, and that's what I came in with Adam to begin with.
Right.
It's like, you know.
Which is why we started collecting the data.
And I think Adam, and I think everybody that works for the city to come out there, it's like, why are you doing all these other trees? And the female lady steps in and she says, we have to do every tree in the city. And I don't think even the city people had a clue that what we were in for. I mean, I had no clue that it was going to be like that. I just wanted to do you guys a good job and get a good reputation and prove that I could do a good job. And I think I did. I just hope I don't have to lose a ton of money. Thank you.
Thank you. I won't read this out loud. Would you just like to pass it around and read it? It's comments from him.
I can make copies of them.
That would be great. Thank you.